This video is for the basement back and front wall frame for the ranch home. The reason it's for the back at the front is because the basement is symmetrical. So once we create this back wall frame, if you want, you can turn it into a component and you can basically just move it over to the front of the basement. So we're going to be using 2x4 boards, which we know by now measure 3.5 by 1.5. I encourage you to use the lumber pile. Okay. This one's pretty basic. We're going to basically fill the entire wall with boards. We're going to space them 1 foot 4 inches, which is also 16 inches. This wall is going to be spaced 3.5 from the left and 3.5 from the right wall. Our wall boards are going to measure 7 foot 1/2 tall. We're going to have a top board and we're going to have a cap board. That cap board is going to be flush with the top of the foundation, and that's how you know it's going to be right. Please note there will be an overhang. That overhang allows the left and the right wall to fit underneath, and that top cap board ties it all together. Okay, so let's go over to SketchUp. Probably first thing you could do is you could either measure with the measuring tape 3.5. You could do that. We go 3.5. Okay, there's our mark right there. Okay, 3.5 inches. Okay. And or you could also, if you want, you could do something like this. Go 3.5, comma, space, 3.5. Make sure you include the inches. And there's your spacing. Okay. If you're not sure, make sure you're 3.5 and 3.5. Okay. Now what you're going to do, hopefully you've imported the lumber pile. We're going to go over and grab the largest board that we can. And let's bring it over here. Before we get too far, we're going to make that unique. And let's spin it, make it flat. 90 degrees. Okay. Let's grab it by that corner there. Okay. And we should be able to find our marker right there, guide point. Okay. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to extend this board. So let's go edit component. We're going to push pull this. Let's look for our, in this case, our rectangle. Okay, we've completed that. Okay. Now our wall board's going to be 7 foot 1/2 tall. So let's grab a board from over here. Our smallest board, this one's 8 feet tall. From here, we're just going to make this unique. We're going to flip this one up. And let's spin this 90 degrees. Okay. And let's grab it at the corner. Okay. Okay. And from there, let's edit the size of this board. Looking at the diagram here, zoomed in, it's clearly visible. It's 7 foot 1 1/2. The instructions here say 7 1/2. Here's a typo. If it's not already been corrected, will be corrected as it's posted on Ensby. So when we go over here, we're going to go up here. We're going to type in 7 foot space 1 space 1/2 inches. Enter. Okay. Now we're going to have a line. Let's edit this component. Now you could have made that line in edit component as well. It's up to you. Sometimes it makes it easier to grab or snap. Okay, let's just double check. Better safe than sorry. And some foot 1 1/2. Okay. And just for good measure, that's 3 inches. 2 boards on top is going to be 3 inches. 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2 is 3. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flood our wall. And we're going to space those 16 inches apart. X, I'm going to make a guess. Let's say 70 copies. Enter. Let's see how close I got. We can erase these stuff we don't need. And it looks like there's a board inside the wall. So let's turn off the foundation for a sec. Grab that board. And we can actually place that there. Let's bring our foundation back. Okay. It's worth noting this oddball space for me is on the right-hand side. If for whatever reason you chose to start from the right and go left, this spacing would be located on the left, and you'd still be 100% right. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll borrow this board, and it's going to be our top board for the wall. And then let's borrow it again. Illuminate that. And we're going to put it on top. Let's make it unique. So we're going to make some adjustments. We want that to be the only board that gets that adjustment. Edit component. Let's push this over 3 1/2. You can type in 3 1/2, or you can just touch this line. It's up to you. Same thing on the other side. Click and touch that. Okay. So we've got our wall in place. Please note it's flush, just as in the instructions. Okay. Now we're going to go over to our windows, and we're going to frame in the windows. For this video, the demonstration, and all the windows are the same, I'm only going to do one window in the video, but it's the process repeated. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw a line, let's say right here, all the way down. And there's different ways you can do this. You can copy this board. I believe in the instructions this board's copied. Or because the spacing is so close, actually we're going to have to copy this over as well, because that's going to have to be underneath that one there. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Okay, and let's draw a line here, straight down. Let's use the move, and let's put that over there. Let's copy this so it sits like so. Okay. Now, unlike other framing, we're not going to have a header. I'll get into why in a later portion of this assignment. So here's what we're going to do now is let's adjust these boards. Okay. Kind of see them from this side. Okay, so we're going to do it individually, or you could create a group. It's up to you. Add a component. Okay. Let's get out of the wall. Okay. Oh, we could just try this. And we could push this out of the way. Like that. Okay. Now it's flush. Keep in mind, we're going to need this horizontal board. That board is 1 1/2 inch thick. So we're going to have to push this down 1.5 inches. Okay. Let's follow suit with this one. Make it unique. Add a component. We can just go like so. Push it out of the way. get something like that, now you're going to have to erase stuff. Let's try a different technique on the next one. So for this one here, let's make it unique. Let's go edit component. What you can do is you go on top here. We'll just touch that. Okay. Make it unique. Let's edit this component. Let's push this down to there. Okay. Okay. Now all we have to do is put a horizontal board in there. We can borrow this one here. Okay. Let's flip this up 90. Let's make it unique before we forget. Let's grab this by the corner and let's stick it in right in here, like so. If you want, let's see, we're going to go edit component. We could grab it from the back end like this and touch this line. And now our window is all trimmed in. I have had some questions about this board here. Do I need it? If you don't have this particular board, you won't lose marks. This board you need, that one you need, and that one you need, as well as the other two exterior boards. Okay, that's it for the back frame.